Okay, I am going to go over the complete low rank gear guide for Sword and Shield. I just finished up low rank. We kind of flew through it honestly. I'm gonna give you what my recommended is, and then I'm going path is, and then I'm going to give you kind of three different builds that you could go for if you wanted to build around different skills throughout as you go through low rank. So my recommended build is pretty simple. Let me just get into it really quick. Um, my recommended build is to play the the expedition and maybe make either the ore or the bone um, weapon early on until you kill Lullabarina. You kill Lullabarina pretty early on in the story. As soon as you kill Lullabarina, I would play the Lullabarina weapon for the gives you 10% it gives you 10% affinity and also paralysis, and I would play the Lullabarina weapon up until you kill the second spider, which is Nursilla, and then I would play the second Lullabarina weapon, the Lullabarina 2. This is what I'm still using. It's what I cleared all of low rank with it. It was perfectly fine. The paralysis is really good. The sharpness is fine. The damage, I mean, you makes up for in the paralysis. Obviously, it's the only downside, and obviously the 10% affinity. It's perfectly fine. That's what I did, and what I would recommend to people to not overcomplicate it. You don't have to worry about certain skills or crafting new weapons after every boss or anything like that. That's my personal preference. As far as gear goes, my recommendation is just to craft whatever you can for the different um, for the different monsters, as long as has a defense upgrade. I wouldn't worry about the resistances. I wouldn't worry about anything like that. I would just craft whatever had the best resistances as you went through the game. Check back every monster or two and just craft whatever has the highest defense. I mean, and that's really going to be it. You don't have to worry about skills or anything like that, in my opinion. I think it's kind of a waste in low rank. You really don't need it. But I do have some builds that you can actually play around if you do want to do that early on. I think the best actual build, if you want to play around builds, there's not much early on, obviously, but I would play the entire I'll have it on screen. I would play the entire Dashiguma set, um, plus the Balahara coil, just to get a Vade extender. And then I would also play the Balahara weapon. The reason this is pretty good is if you go here and you can see we have Powerhouse. Powerhouse basically grants you plus 10 after a successful power clash or offset attack. When you have the four piece, it is actually plus 25%, not plus 25%, but plus 25, I believe, when you have the four piece. So I would play the four piece plus the Balahara coil to get a Vade extender. It's nice. The only drawback with it and why I didn't personally go for it is because Powerhouse is conditional. It's conditional on getting perfect guards so that you can initiate the power clashes or to get offset attacks. Obviously, Sword and Shield doesn't have offset attacks, so I think if you were playing a weapon that has offset attacks, it could be a little bit better. But perfect guards, they're okay, but again, they're conditional, and they can be sort of inconsistent. That's what I would play if you really wanted to play like a mathematically best set. I think early game, that's probably as good as you're going to get. For the second, like the basically mid-game low rank set that I would play around the latent power and part breaker skills if I really wanted to, which would end up probably being something like the Ray Dow helmet, the Ajarakan mail, and the Ajarakan greaves, and then keeping the Balahara coil for constitution, and also the Hirabami Vimbraces. What this is going to allow you to do is it's going to give you latent power 1, which is going to increase your output your damage, right? When the affinity is active. I don't think it was worth it, but mathematically, it probably is probably better than what I went for. On the other hand, playing around Part Breaker, you're going to have Part Breaker 2 for it. And I really think Part Breaker is really good because of how good wounds are. I was playing pretty much around wounds the entire time. I wish that I played a Part Breaker set throughout low rank. It probably would have made things a little bit easier. Part Breaker probably does, I think, does a ton of damage. And then also the set pretty much will give you Evade Extender, Evade Window, Constitution, and it just makes you super tanky. And you can pair it up with the with what's the weapon? I think it's the Quimatrice. I don't know how to say this monster's name, but it's a good weapon. Obviously, here you go. You have 5% affinity, and 120 fire. Also, it looks fucking sweet. Gonna be a good weapon. 196 power, pretty good. Probably better. I don't know if I would say it's better than the Lullabrina 2 weapon, but it does, just because I favor paralysis more than I favor fire, because paralysis is pretty good against basically every monster. But yeah, like I said, you'll see the build on the screen, and that's what I would personally go with as kind of a mid game low rank build if you wanted to really play around something. Oh, I would also pair it. I didn't say this for the first set because you're not going to have a charm. I would probably pair it with just a defense charm. You could also pair it with like a leaping charm or something like that. I would probably stick with a defense charm because, you know, why not? You know, there's really no reason not to, in my opinion. All right, now the actual end game. This is going to be all Guardian armor, Guardian monster armor. And I think that this is going to be like a weakness exploit slash elemental type of build. I think it's gonna it probably is super strong. I didn't test it out personally, but I think the math around it is probably the best end game low rank weapon. It's going to be the Guardian Rathalos helmet, the Guardian Rathalos Vambraces, and the Guardian Rathalos Greaves. And then it's going to be the Guardian Ebony Odogaron Mail and Coil. It's going to give you high weakness exploit. It's going to give you burst boost, and also Scorcher to play around a fire elemental sword and shield. You're going to be doing big elemental damage. You're going to obviously be able to exploit things like wounds, stuff like that with weakness exploit. I would pair it up with some blaze jewels or physical jewels if you get them. If you don't get them, I mean, you have no control really if you get them or not, but if you slotted in some physical damage jewels and some blaze jewels, you are probably in a really good spot with that. That's probably what I would do. Like I said, it's not my recommended to kind of chase those, because I really don't think in low rank you want to be farming monsters. So like if you miss a piece and you can't really get like the set or whatever, I would never farm anything in low rank. I would just play whatever, has the highest defense for armor and also has the highest damage pretty much, or basically the best. I went for best affinity and also paralysis. So that's my that's what I would do as far as sword and shield low rank gear goes. That's my recommended, and then I also gave 3 different builds throughout the stages that kind of do different things and should be mathematically the best in each stage of the game. If you like the video, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be live every day on twitch.tv/GlitzXO. Later.